There's not a more appropriate topic I think we could start with.
Yes.
Because this is the foundational element to our playing. When we were starting the podcast, what is our why? That's a question I have written down. And we discussed that there is a lack of there's fewer pedagogy-based podcasts where there's a lot of like interview and musician story-based podcasts. But this one, I am so excited because Danielle and I share a lot of the same values, a lot of the same playing philosophies. Mm-hmm. And this podcast is going to be our outlet for that. And I'm so stoked to get into it.
Yes, I agree. We're so excited. John and I play together almost every day. We sit next to each other every day. We are the luckiest people in the world. I don't know how we ended up like this, but Here we are. And it's so fun to play together because we have such a similar approach to horn playing, to sound making and technique and everything. And so that's, I think, what makes it fun for us to play together and why we play well together. And we want to share that. So yeah, today we're going to talk about sound, and not just sound and how to make a good sound, but really sort of digging into the French horn, how to make a sound. So this would also be a really great episode to share with a band director or a teacher or a beginning horn player, to just really kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of what's happening, how are we doing this, what is our setup, and how to make a beautiful sound on the horn. Because that is why everyone loves the horn, because it makes such a beautiful sound. It makes the best sound, if you will.
Well, sorry, trumpet player.
Anyway, yeah. But we love the horn sound, and so we want everyone to be able to tap into that beautiful, resonant, ringing French horn sound, and that not everyone can get to on every note, at any dynamic, at any note length, any note style, every register, et cetera, et cetera. We want you to be able to find that resonant tone everywhere on the horn, no matter what it is that you're playing, to really tap into that beautiful music making.
Yes, I am so excited to get into this. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to start from the very beginning. So we'll be right back.
The Horn Pod is brought to you by Genghis Barbie, the world's leading post-feminist pop French horn experience. Check out genghisbarbie.com for recordings, merch, water bottles, t-shirts, experiences, concerts, everything you want to know about the Barbies. Check us out at genghisbarbie.com.
The Horn Pod is brought to you by Horn Hippie Media. Music, education, and media production solutions. Loving the pedagogy on the pod? Head to hornhippiemedia.com and download the Horn Hippie warm-up routine today. This warm-up features all kinds of exercises, from breathing to buzzing to flexibility, and even horn player affirmations. Visit hornhippiemedia.com today.
Welcome back.
All right, to kick off the official sound conversation, a beginner musician, someone who has never played the horn in their life, comes to take a lesson with you, Danielle. Mm-hmm. And what is the first thing that you have them do?
The very first thing that I want someone to do is to really connect with their breath, because this is so crucial to playing any wind instrument, but I feel like it's so important for an instrument like the horn, which you can make a sound on a horn or a trumpet or a lot of other instruments with like not a lot of air. You can make a sound. And so that is a big problem for a lot of people, because they make a sound and they think that that's enough. And so I want people to understand from the very get-go what it feels like to really make a great sound and how much air it actually takes to play the horn and make that resonant tone. So the first thing they need to connect with is their breathing. So I will try to show them how to take a full breath and how to connect with not only the inhale, but the for lack of a better word, exhale. It's not what it is. The push. That's good. I like that. The push. See, I'm going to learn here too. I love this.
That's so good.
So let's talk about breathing. How do you like to think and talk about taking that perfect horn breath?
The perfect horn breath. I love an exercise, and I love especially working with kids, the visuals that you can get. So we've all heard the Baby Shark song, and I just say, okay, get your little baby shark fin. You put it up here. And this is basically something out of the breathing gym where you do a resisted breath. You hold that fin, make a little paddle with your hand, and hold it up to your mouth and like kiss your lips out like this. Like prune. And then hold that fin up to your mouth. And then when you're inhaling, make a low ripping sound. And what this does, it activates that diaphragmatic core, and we really pull in a lot. And you're going for this exact sound. Everyone can make this sound. So try this. Beautiful. And with that air, you might feel, oh, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot different than the way that I normally breathe. You might have to sit up a little straighter, tap into that
which is also posture. Very important. That is, I always say, like, I try to say step one is breathing, but step one is actually like making sure you're sitting up straight.
Right, the physiology of the
yeah, that you're like over. Sitting. Yeah. And this is actually important to talk about, I think, because sometimes, we're like, don't slump over. But I like to have people, take that moment to really notice why it's so important to sit up. Because when you're sitting up straight and your rib cage is nice and loose, it can expand and let your lungs fill up with air. If you're slouched to one side, you're going to compress that whole lung. If you're slouched over, you're not going to be able to have your lungs expand fully. So I think it's helpful to sort of explain that as well. So it's almost like the fundamental to the fundamental to the fundamental, the sitting up straight part and being relaxed and loose in your body so that you can expand in your breath. Okay, back to what you were talking about.
No, exactly. Just to quickly expand on that, going into a little bit of thoracic extension, so that the rib cage is very open here, but not like closed down like that, but very open. It allows for a lot more mobility, just up and down with that lung, with that diaphragmatic core. And this shark fin breath, we're breathing in. And when we're demonstrating it, it's totally fine to allow a little bit of shoulders raising because the lungs are filling up. Like your chest cavity is completely filling, so the body's going to respond. Don't worry so much about what the choir teacher told you, which is like, keep the shoulders down no matter what. Because your shoulders are naturally going to rise if you're taking a massive breath.
And I think what people are getting at with the shoulders thing is that you want to teach students that you're not filling top to bottom. It's not like a gas tank you fill up with water. It's like a 360, like the bellows and the little fireplace or an accordion or something that you're expanding. And so, yes, your body will move. So you don't if you're holding your shoulders down, it's never going to work.
Right. And that's creating tension. And then if you breathe too much, and then hold the shoulders up here, you're also creating tension. So it's an allowance for that mobility in the shoulders and just everything else. You're also even breathing into your back sometimes too. Don't forget about that.
That is where I like to try to bring the focus to the lower back. So to me, I think of the breath. This is actually from Alexander Technique when I studied with someone in college. And she described it as kind of these 4 different quadrants. And the first quadrant is your lower back. So when you breathe, that's like where it starts. And then the front lower quadrant, and then the back upper, to mid quadrant, and then the front quadrant. So I like that because I think it helps us keep the breath sort of low and open and warm-ish, so that to not let tension in, because we do not want tension when we play the horn. Muscle engagement, yes. Tension, no. So we want to eliminate as much tension as possible. And breathing, learning how to take that super deep breath without the excess tension is so important. So many little tips in there for even just how to inhale. We haven't even gotten to
exhaling yet. I also want to do one more thing before we move on to test that. In that Alexander Technique, you can actually do what's called a sandwich breath. So if you're fat like me, you might just have to really, so make like like you're biting into a sandwich, but you're doing that around like just above your hips, and make that pinch those sides, and then try to feel the sensation of breathing into your thumbs first. So you're breathing in and feel that lower back start to expand, those lower intercostals first, and then so we fill up the thumbs, and then you fill up into the fingers, and that's how you can also give a more like a manual sensation, a more like tactile sensation to that low breathing techniques. But with all of those things considered, sometimes you have to breathe really quickly. And so just going back to this, the shark fin, in the middle of a Mozart concerto, the slow movement, you might have to like really grab a breath so quickly and efficiently. But it's important to start from that place. And I feel like people can really hear the sound of that breath and know when they're doing it correctly or not. And that's the easiest way to coach students, I believe.
And I think, if your lips are too pursed or tight, you're going to hear a different kind of rip, and that's you want that low rip, not the sucking in sound. And if it's and not enough kind of force of air coming in, it's also not going to create that sound. So you're kind of listening for that sound,
exactly,
and to feel what it feels like to take that quick, full, relaxed breath.